greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch it. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bar, you think you're free. What the human race is suffering from is mass hypnosis. We are being hypnotized by people like this. Newsreaders, politicians, teachers, lecturers. We are in a country and in a world that is being run by unbelievably sick people. The chasm between what we're told is going on and what is really going on is absolutely enormous.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Red Pill Hardcore TV show. As always, I'm your host, V. And today, well, I don't have a guest today. Not really having so much of a fun time declining guests to be on the show. I've got tons of wonderful people who want to be on the show. But as of right now, extremely busy making my November 5th documentary series. And yeah, I know it's coming out a month early, technically, as I'm releasing them one by one in the month of October. And I guess that way I can have them all accumulated by the time November 5th comes around, so everyone who hasn't seen them individually can just watch the entire series all at once. I know how it is finding a series that I like and having to wait for each episode to come out every week or however long it takes them. So, I think it's a little bit of a gift because it's scary stuff too. You know, the month of October is my favorite month. Halloween's the best, and well, this is really, really good stuff. So today, instead, I'm going to do a little psychological war breakdown. And some people think that, you know, the psychological warfare or psyops, that's government, that's military, paramilitary, overseas stuff. No. It happens right there in America. Okay? To everyone, whether you know it or not. There's a psyop on you or played against you at any time, anywhere, by any government employee. It doesn't have to be a government employee, somebody that knows the game. And the certain example that I'm talking about is police corruption. So I've got a quote right here, actually, from the owner of the media. The entire concept of police being armed with legal document creation, handcuffs, deadly weapons is tyranny within itself. They charge, give judgment, and execute if they feel like doing so with little fear of repercussions as the system gives them that authority. How can one person be a witness, the person who gives the charge, be an administrator, the person who gives citation, summons the court so that you can be robbed for your money, and be an enforcer, the person that takes away your freedom by forceful kidnap? In old days of society, these three jobs were held separately by three different people, not to show such blatant tyranny, which would make them no different than any criminal. If that weren't enough, they could decide to go and forego all formalities and just murder anyone who just doesn't comply with any lawful or unlawful order. Street gangs. Just take your shoes, purses, and, they fought amongst themselves when we had street gangs. Now, we have government gangs that take the same things away from you with an addition to your life, liberty, and happiness. Being stripped of your constitutional rights. And they work together in unison as an army to do so. There's no infighting. They watch each other's backs like crazy. America has traded criminals for criminals with badges. Just like trading terrorists for terrorists with security clearances. The tyranny is only going to get worse so long as we keep stepping back and accepting every lie they tell us. So we're going to go into some examples of that. Watch this clip.
Now, live, this is CBS 4 News at 11.
We sent undercover cameras into dozens of police stations.
We wanted to find out how people would be treated and what the procedures are for filing complaints against police officers. I-Team investigator Mike Kirsch is here now with his investigation into what some might consider police station intimidation.
Police departments around the country, like here in Tallahassee, give citizens police complaint forms all the time, no questions asked. But walk into a police station in South Florida trying to find out how to file a complaint and watch what happens.
Yeah, I wanted to find out how to file a complaint against an officer. I just wanted to find out how to do it. You guys have a form or something that I could take with me?
Well, you got to tell me first, and then I got to hear what's going on. You got to tell me what the complaint is.
Do you have a complaint form that I can fill out or something like that?
Might not be a legitimate complaint.
Who decides that?
I'm trying to help you.
If there's a form, why can't I just take it and leave, right?
No, you don't leave with forms. You tell me what happened, and then I help you from there. Do you have an ID on you?
Why?
You know what? You need to leave. Okay? You're refusing to tell me what you want to do. Okay? You're refusing to tell me who's involved, where it happened, what transpired. You're not cooperating with me one bit.
I was just asking if you guys have a complaint form or if there's some way for me to contact internal affairs.
You can do whatever the hell you want. It's a free country.
Why are you cursing at me?
Where do you live? Where do you live? All right, first of all. So you're not going to tell me where you live, what your name is, or anything like that, right?
If you're gonna, if I have to...
Are you on medication?
Why would you ask me something like that?
Because you're not answering any of my questions.
So I'm on medication?
I asked you. It's a free country. I can ask you that.
Okay, you're right.
So you're not going to tell me who you are. You're not going to tell me what the problem is. You're not going to identify yourself.
All I asked you was, how do I contact
You said you had a complaint. You said my officers are acting in an inappropriate manner. Leave now. Leave now.
How 41 is it?
Leave now. You better keep walking, son, before you get yourself into some trouble.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Neither am I. It's a free country. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Why did you get out of my face, man?
I'm not in your face. I'm standing. Sidewalk, free country. One more step towards me, see what happens.
I didn't grab what towards you, man.
Take one more step towards me, see what happens.
There's about 3 or 4 blocks south of the driveway.
So now, here we have a police officer who is unwilling to give up complaint form, and it's completely wrong. That's against any policy in any police station across the country. Supposed to give out complaint forms when asked for one, and they can be filled out anonymously. But this police officer is doing what most police officers, I think, would do, and that is to protect any of their fellow officers. Now, if that is the case, they're no longer protecting and serving you. They're protecting and serving themselves. Okay, this particular police officer is talking about not receiving any information. It's not necessary, again, but he's asking questions, personal questions about the person requesting the forms, because Now get this is very important. He's asking personal questions about the person requesting the forms because he wants to be able to track and target this person. Okay, this point, this person is a suspect or put on an unofficial terrorist list. Basically, this person, had he given his information, would be stalked by police. This is the tactics that gang stalkers. This is how gang stalkers get your information from police. How you saw how this police officer followed this person outside of the building and followed him down the street. I mean, if that's not a gang stalker, I don't know what is. In any scenario, try your best not to give any police any information about you. You're only obligated to give your name when they tell you to identify yourself. If you're not suspected of any infractions, suspected of anything, you don't have to give up an ID. So, but again, to incriminate, finding any reason. Are you on medication? Are you on da-da-da-da-da-da-da? That's beside the point. This is psychological warfare, because if you say that you take some sort of medication, well, then you're automatically crazy. He doesn't have to help you, even though that's a totally different ordeal by itself. You can try to search him and see if he has his medication, or if his medication is actually his. In some cases, it doesn't matter, carrying a substance, and then they'll book you right then and there. There's a lot of things that can get you hemmed up when speaking with a police officer who's corrupt. And I can tell you, this police officer probably doesn't even know that he's doing police misconduct, because they're trained to do COINTELPRO, even though it's not what it's called. It's not what they know it by. It's not what you and I know it by. This is the conditioning of the New World Order police that we're all being subjugated to. We're all just supposed to believe police officers who are allowed legally to lie to you about any law or any policy, and make you accountable for everything that you say. Watch this next clip.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out how to file a complaint against an officer.
Where does he work at?
I'm saying if he works at this district. We're trying to file.
I'm asking you a question. Where does he work at? If he works here at this district. Just trying to answer my question. I think you think this is a big conspiracy.
I'm trying to find out how you file a complaint. That's what I'm asking.
If you think you can walk in here and go straight to the director of Metro-Dade Police without telling me any details, you can't do it. And for some reason, you think that. I don't know why. You think it's a big conspiracy that we're gonna hide some information about what happened to you? I don't know. Is it a traffic ticket? Is it something that, a discourtesy complaint? What is it? He stole your lunch money? Did he steal your money? Did he, have sex with your wife? What?
Now, notice how that police officer brought up conspiracy. Because if they're going to call you a criminal, they're going to call you a conspiracy theorist. Because you and I both know conspiracies don't happen. Conspiracies don't mean anything. Conspiracies are just crazy people's ideas. Even though there's a criminal charge that anyone can go to jail for under the name of conspiracy. So, it's just anything to dodge responsibility and to do the work they're hired for.
We don't give you a form. Where do you live?
I don't really want to say.
You don't want to say?
No.
Where you going? You want to play hardball? We play hardball. I want ID.
For what?
Because I'm asking you for ID right now. That's why.
Here.
Hand it to me.
Hand
it to me.
Here.
Hand it to me.
Are you kidding me?
Hand me your ID.
Here.
I said, he's giving it to you. Hand me your ID. Are you kidding me? Hand me your ID. Is this what are you doing here? This is very
I came to ask you how to file a complaint.
Right, and this is very suspicious here.
Asking how to file a complaint is suspicious.
Why don't you shut up? I said this is very suspicious that you could pull in here at this time of night. He comes over
8 o'clock.
You're constantly butting in.
I'm constantly butting in?
Sir, I would like to leave. I would love it, but he's got your driver's license, so you're just going to have to sit here. So are you detaining us? Okay, could I give you a ticket right now for improper backing?
You can do whatever you want to do, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that means yes, I guess you're saying, right? And for backing up, correct? Yes?
I was backing up, sir, because I was leaving.
Now, this is actually one of my favorite police misconduct clips. This police officer is asking for the driver to identify himself by handing him his ID. He's asking for the ID. The driver has his hand out with his ID in front of the police officer to take it. The police officer is willfully not taking it, not complying with his own order, so that it can look like the driver was not complying. See, complying happens on both ends. The officer doesn't want to comply, then lawful order cannot be complied with. See, it's these little small things. And being told that he can't get this paperwork, it's ridiculous. To be told to shut up. He always butting in, shut up. Look, we have what's called the First Amendment, right? And we have it for a reason. Now, again, these corrupt police officers having the ability to give out paperwork, he's so willing to write him a citation for backing up his vehicle. There's a citation for everything. I'm going to tell you this right now. A cop can write you a citation for any action in the world and make you show up for court, whether it's illegal or not. They can hand out the paperwork, but they're not willing to give up paperwork to report police misconduct. Go figure, right?
Like, there's no way, like, to just write it down on something? Like.
Well, first of all, why don't you tell me what happened, and I'll tell you if somebody did something wrong to you.
I mean, like, I feel like I know, like, I mean, if somebody did something wrong, I you know.
Maybe not. Sometimes people don't. Some people think that we're not allowed to do certain things, and we are. And sometimes, you know, some guys take it overboard, and they're not allowed to do that.
Right.
You know, I don't know what happened.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, like, I don't want to talk.
I tried to help you, but obviously you got issues.
I mean, I don't have issues, man.
The real issue seems to be why can't a complaint form against the police be found seemingly anywhere at South Florida Police Department?
Is there like just a form that I can just fill out? Is there a form or something? Is there just something I can fill out? You guys don't have like a complaint form or anything?
This hidden camera test was carried out by a police abuse watchdog group called the Police Complaint Center. Remarkably, of 38 different police stations tested around South Florida, all but 3 had no police complaint forms.
Is there a form or something? Is there just something I can fill out? You guys don't have like a complaint form or anything like that?
Florida City PD and Homestead PD had them, as did the City of Miami, in 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Creole. But Miami Police Chief John Timoney was in no mood to gloat after hearing about the social skills of some cops.
Why don't you shut up?
And the behavior of other police officers when asked how complaints might be filed against their fellow cops.
Do you want to visit my jail cell instead?
Less than 1 minute into his stop at the Pine Lawn Police Department, and Tester Greg Slade is threatened with jail time. Sergeant Christopher Clay acknowledged his department has complaint forms, but he refused to give one up.
So you're not going to give me a complaint form?
Slade continued pressing Sergeant Clay.
You're not allowed to give me that complaint form? Or you just won't?
I might be speaking a foreign language to you. You have to contact the chief. He's the only one that hands out the forms.
And that's your policy? That's your official policy?
That's our official policy.
I
I left the police department when he told me that their official policy was not to give out complaint forms after hours. And that was the only thing that I wanted him to tell me.
He thought it was over until Sergeant Clay met him outside and said, "Get out of my city."
Yeah, get out of your city, and what happens if I don't? And what happens if I don't? You put me under arrest?
Yep, you're under arrest. Come on.
I'm under arrest for what? Man, what are you doing to me, man? What are you doing, man? Stop pushing me, man. You're squeezing my...
Hey, open the door. JJ don't get it.
What am I under arrest for, man?
So you comply.
Comply with what?
You're in a government building, man. Do you understand what government, know what that means? You're on government property. Do you understand what that means?
Sidewalk?
We went in after them and immediately talked to Sergeant Clay.
I asked him specifically what the incident was about. Can't help you if I don't know what the incident is about.
Is there anything wrong with asking for a complaint form?
How we do it is, so we keep track of them, they're like a control number. So we know exactly what complaints were coming in. He wasn't getting it. And we're trying to do things, and I explained to him, this is what you need to do. I explained to him 3 times.
But can you arrest somebody for not getting it?
But he ain't under arrest. I just want him to calm down and get understanding.
But Slate was under arrest with an official court date and summons.
Now, I really love this clip. So, here we have a crook cop who is busted. I mean, busted. He took it too far. This bully, that's what he is, bully, took it too far. Now, did you notice the color disappeared? Like he was getting flushed. You hear that quiver in his voice? That stutter that he got? It's like a bully when he gets caught bullying somebody. That's the exact same behavior when approached by a greater authority figure that a bully displays after displaying such behavior. It's sickening. We need higher standards for our police officers, don't you think?
Hey, Joe, we're done.
Were you throwing me out?
This is police surveillance video of a test in Independence, Missouri last year. The officers refused to give him a complaint form and then arrested him.
What are you doing, man? Oh,
Slate ended up in the hospital. In Dallas, another police complaint center tester encountered this deputy who appeared to reach for a weapon.
Oh, officer, I don't mean no problem. Okay.
They call you in for me?
I don't know.
Oh.
You here to make a complaint?
Yeah, well, no, I want to find out how to do it first.
Can I get your name?
Rich.
So let me see your license.
What if I don't have it on me? That's,
Failing to identify yourself, I can take you and put you in jail. All right? Is that what you want?
No, I don't want to go there.
Okay, give me your license then.
And some, like San Bernardino Sheriff's Department Corporal Ray Austin, had an intimidating message.
This is the way it works. They'll interview you with a tape, and then they'll talk to the officer to do an investigation. And if your allegation is unfounded, the officer has the right to sue you.
But that's not the policy of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. It states that any citizen can take a complaint form home, and they can fill it out anonymously. Jones left feeling as if he was being threatened into not filing a report, and even the captain agreed.
I can see how somebody who was listening to the corporal would feel intimidated.
So, let's say that you are in trouble, you're hurt, or you have some grievance, whatever the case might be. You have some grievance against the police department or a police officer. The options for doing something about it is being intimidated, being sued, being beaten up, and threatened with a deadly weapon. That seems like a lot of misconduct, and yes, over into corruption. I want you people to understand that if Nazi Germany was PC and had media surrounding it, that's exactly what Nazi Germany would look like. America is neo-Nazi Germany. That's right now, it's this police state. I'm going to tell you, this is the interactions with most police. It would be one thing if it were one out of every, so often. They did this test, this news crew. 30 some odd stations, only 3 gave out the police forms, the complaint forms. That is alarming. We all should be alarmed by that. There's nobody that can argue against that. Oh, not all the police, or it's only just a few of them. This is the majority of police. I'm just going to let some of these clips roll, and we'll just sink into this a little bit more.
After seeing the results of our test here at Sheriff's headquarters in San Bernardino, we wanted to find out if the same attitude existed at other sheriff's facilities. So the very next day, we sent our tester to Victorville.
What's the complaint process?
Again, Jones was told he wouldn't get a complaint form without giving his name and other information. This time, Sergeant Pat Daly made it seem like our tester was the criminal.
We have to take names to know how this is going. We just don't give people no names. And I would feel that you got something to hide, and if you're this suspicious or this secret.
And when Jones remains reluctant, the sergeant draws his own conclusion.
Arrested before, right?
And why would your sergeant draw that conclusion that he's been arrested before, or try to even elicit a response from that?
I can't answer for the sergeant. I don't know.
Sir? Sir? Can I speak with you for a second?
I'm waiting on this lady.
Well, I need to speak with you for a second. I see that you're recording. Yes. You're not allowed to record or use cell phones in here. In the lobby, you can record us all day, but not in the records.
Is that a policy?
Yes.
Can you show that?
I don't have the phone.
I would like to.
Okay, but you need to turn your camera off.
I'll turn it off.
I asked you to do it. Dude, I asked you to do it.
What is your problem?
What is your problem? What is your problem?
Well, it really sounds like you're being a little bitch about it. Why don't you just take it like a man?
Belendi Delanois says a station house cop called him a little bitch when he tried to complain about alleged racial bias by a patrol officer.
The I-team used a hidden camera to test how Nassau County cops treat people who have a complaint about alleged police abuse. But first, Belendi's story. It prompted the undercover investigation you're about to see.
He placed his hand on his gun. He screamed at me. He was like, you know, you don't belong here.
Belendi said a cop confronted him when he was in the mostly white community of East Meadow, Long Island.
He screamed at me, why are you even parked in front of these people's houses?
It was late at night in early September. Belendi picked up some food at an all-night diner and went to hang out with a friend from college. He was getting out of his parked car when the cop pulled up behind him. After the cop checked Belendi's license and registration, Belendi says the cop made this demand.
He hands it to me and tells me to get the hell out of here.
Belendi then asked the cop for his name and badge number. Belendi says the cop retaliated by writing him tickets.
When he hands me tickets, he said, here. There's my name and badge number.
2 of the 3 tickets were for moving violations, even though Belendi was parked. Get this.
He never saw me driving.
Later that day, Belendi went up to a cop on the desk at the 1st Precinct to file a complaint.
I told him the situation, what happened.
Belendi says that cop then became abusive.
He says to me, well, it really sounds like you're being a little bitch about it. You're making a bigger deal out of something that is not.
We wanted to find out if Nassau County cops are discouraging complaints about alleged police abuse. We went undercover to investigate using Maurice Hayes as a tester. Maurice was the man who helped us investigate whether or not it was a crime to drive while black in Nassau County. This is Maurice in our hidden camera video. He ended up handcuffed for over an hour, even though he'd committed no crime, not even a traffic violation. We decided to test what would happen if Maurice wanted to complain about his treatment that night. We sent him to a different part of Nassau County wearing a hidden camera. He went to 4 precincts and asked this simple question.
How do I go about filing a complaint against an officer?
3 precincts flunked our test. They gave the wrong information. Here in the 3rd precinct in Williston Park, a sergeant insists there was only one way to do it.
I have to know what happened. I mean, you just can't come in here and say, I have a complaint, you're just going to fill it out. There's no such thing. You got to tell me what happened. I got to know what the hell happened.
But that's not the only way, and the sergeant should have known better. If you feel reluctant to talk at a station house, you don't have to. According to the Nassau County Police Department's own policy, you can file a complaint by phone or by mail, or go directly to Internal Affairs.
I want to know your options. How do I file a complaint?
Maurice keeps at it. He asks 12 times at the 3rd precinct.
I can't call over the phone?
Finally, the sergeant tells him he can call Internal Affairs, but then discourages him from doing that.
Nobody's in internal affairs right now. 6-4 LA. So you give it to me, and if it's worthy of an internal affairs investigation, it's a complicated process.
Then this inappropriate question.
What do you have, warrants or something?
No, I don't have no warrants.
So why are you so nervous about talking?
I'm in a police station.
You've been here before, I guess?
No.
Why does that sergeant suggest that Maurice is a criminal? Remember, he's done nothing except ask how to file a complaint about police abuse. Things went from bad to worse at the 5th precinct in Elmont. Maurice asks the same how-to question.
How do I go about filing a complaint against an officer?
Listen to the cop's answer.
This is not New York City. New York City will take a complaint for anything. We don't take a complaint for anything.
Then more hostility.
We don't have a form just to bitch on because you want to make a complaint.
Look, to file a complaint, you can't even go with it.
This woman right here is trying to file a complaint with the 46th precinct.
I'm here to make a complaint. Is that the concept here?
Yeah, so let me ask you this. If I was to fill something out as far as what, when, where, and how, and bring it in, are you the person that's going to oversee that?
Most likely. Because I'm here. I'm the one. If it happened, when did it happen today?
Yeah. So, officer, let me ask you this, Sergeant. If I fill out a complaint in that regards, and you oversee it, I mean, you already have something against me already.
No, I don't have anything against you.
I mean, but for you to say that if I don't talk to you, you're just going to arrest me or find something to arrest me on, that's something against me.
Well, why don't you want to talk to me? I don't get it.
Honestly, I don't want to get into it like that. I just came in to get some documentation, something of that nature. So if it's a complaint, something of that nature, I can fill out a complaint and have it heard and go on from there. But I mean, if you telling me that, you know, you find something to arrest me on, I mean, that's the problem right there.
So yes, I actually agree with that myself. That's the problem right there. And so, if there is no due process anymore, let's just talk in that language. From what we're seeing from all of this, there is no longer due process. The police officer can just write you police citations just because he feels like it, just because he doesn't like your attitude, just because you stick up for your rights. He can just write you citations. And everything in the courts hinges on the testimony, the witnessing of the police officers. Most of these police officers are liars, as you can see from these videos. They have no problem with lying and BSing their way in and out of a situation. We've got a force of weasels. They can call people the B word all they want. These are weasels. These are weasels and bullies. I've been seeing this this partnering up in the government a lot. I mean, you've got, say, the intelligence agencies. You know I'm going to go straight there. You know, we have, you know, these computer nerds, the NSA. You know, you've got these muscle heads that go to the FBI or CIA. It's always a combination of the two. You have the intelligence and then the enforcers. Can't they find somebody that can be both and have a little bit of character, a little honesty, some values? sense of duty, perhaps? Is that being compartmentalized tools of a godless and gutless system? I don't know.
Duncan Hicks was inside the Victorville police station this month to file a police report. Unsatisfied with how the receptionist and deputy were handling it, Hicks recorded part of the incident.
He was very disrespectful to me, very rude to me.
Hicks says this was his third time here and also called once, and says this time the deputy refused to write his report down and then took it a step further.
This is not explaining the incident, sir.
Okay, Duncan, you know what, man? I'm about getting tired of you, and you're about to go to jail, just so you know.
What I'm going to jail for?
I'll create something, you understand? You'll go to jail, do you understand that?
I was shocked. I didn't do nothing wrong. You know, I'm a law-abiding citizen. You can't say that. How are you going to create something? That's against the law.
Illegal? Recording me like that? That's illegal. Without my knowledge, you want to go to jail for that too?
According to the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, recording in the station is allowed.
Yeah, so, I mean, at least there's a little bit of honesty in that. The guy didn't want to do his job. Well, didn't want to do his job. He said he didn't want to do his job. I mean, I know people who, what was that security guard that got famous, went viral for farting at work and recording himself farting? He got fired from his job. Now, I'm not going to defend him or anything. I'm not saying it was okay. On company time, he got fired for not doing what he was supposed to do on company time. Now, here we have a police officer who flat out said, no, I'm not going to do my job. I'm getting tired of you. I'd rather just arrest you. That's easier than to actually protect and serve. And I'm just going to make up something to put you in jail for. Did you see the level of fear, though, once he got the notion that he was being recorded? Now, I'm almost speechless. I'm sorry. It's just unbelievable. It's unfreaking believable how these people can just they do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. They're not protecting and serving. Now, you must record. When you're dealing with police, record. If somebody else is outside of a situation recording, you record that person that's recording. Okay? The camera is the only thing that's saving our tail right now. The government thought, oh, putting cameras on everybody. Let's do that because we can catch criminals. But yeah, now we're starting to. We're starting to catch criminals now. And we need to continue to be a counter-surveillance society. We need to grow into being more of a counter-surveillance society. You think having police officers on camera, no matter what, is something that is so outside the box? We need to have cameras on our politicians too. What do you think you would see? Well, outside the pedophilia and corrupt backdoor deals and da-da-da-da-da, I mean, one can only imagine what else they do. They could be having their own Bohemian Groves and whatever office buildings. Who knows? I didn't want to think about it. It'd probably be really sickening, disgusting to have cameras on our politicians. But I digress. Record, police. Please. I don't care what any of them say. It's never going to be illegal. It's not illegal. Record, record, record. And hey, you never know. You might be able to get your clip on my TV show. So with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Be back.
Ever been followed home at night by a bright star? UAV drone. Have you ever felt like you are being watched? Energy spectrum surveillance. Have you ever heard a buzz in your brain and ringing in your ear? Satellite EEG brain entrainment. Have you ever felt like someone is reading your thoughts? Remote neural monitoring. Have you ever heard voices in your head that were not your own? Voice to skull. Have you ever heard these voices repeat themselves unending? Synthetic audio harassment. Known someone driven mad by the voices till they killed people? CIA. NSA on shelf shooters. We are just people. We are brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers. We are young and old alike. We come from every walk of life and every corner of the world. We are just people. Yet, through all of our diversity, we have found common ground. We stand united as one and divided by zero. The Red Pill Hardcore exposes the truth with the answers.
Hello, I'm V from the Red Pill Hardcore TV show, and I'm here to deliver a message to you. I am standing up, and I think you guys should stand up too. What are we standing up for? Clean air. The New World governments have been spraying aluminum, strontium, barium, all kinds of nanoparticulates, salts, heavy metals, and we are losing our environment. We have trees with aluminum toxicity. Our wildlife is disappearing, one species at a time. We have weather warfare weaponry. If there is anything such as global warming, well, we have ionospheric heaters that's dramatically bombarding our atmosphere. All this damage can be done to the environment by these nanoparticulates being sprayed into the atmosphere. We know that it's causing respiratory issues. We know that it's causing autism. We know that it's causing Morgellons, the transhumanistic disease. What else is it doing? I think it may just be altering our minds. Watch my movie, and then you decide. I am V from the Red Pill Hardcore radio show and TV show. I'm here to tell you guys about my militia, the Red Pill Militia of Minnesota. The militia is there to protect the people of the United States from any enemy that may threaten our way of life, regardless of religion or political stance. We will unite the people as one to fight tyranny of any form from anywhere, including our own government. We will see the people free again. I hope you would like to join my militia. Please visit our Facebook page, The People's Red Pill Militia. Like, comment, let us know in general what you think. And if you want to be a volunteer, all you have to do is coordinate with our members. We're all honorary brothers of the militia because we all protect our freedoms, our constitutional rights, and the most important things that we have as American citizens. So please help me in protecting those rights and join my militia.
And yes, We are back. This is the Red Pill Hardcore TV show. I'm still your host, V. And yes, more clips. Give me more, right? All right, let's do this.
We then traveled to neighboring Huntington Park, and it seemed that word traveled with us.
I want to know, if I want to file a complaint against one of your officers, what do I do? Is there a form or something?
Weren't you just at Bell Police Department?
Sergeant Michael Craven was apparently alerted by Bell Police, but instead of realizing it was a test, he proceeded to violate his own department's complaint policy.
But I'm just ticked off about it. I don't feel like getting into that. That's the reason.
I mean, there's no reason. I can't give you a complaint.
But it's just a
We're not
form.
gonna get into it. I know what it is, but I need to know what it's about. So if you're not happy with me, then you can come back tomorrow morning and talk to my chief of police.
Jones didn't want to provide information and didn't have to, according to police policy. But Sergeant Craven didn't know or didn't care.
You have to let me know where it occurred. If you don't know where it occurred, how can we even investigate this then? Because if you don't know where it happened at, you don't know what day it happened at, then there ain't nothing I can do for you.
Should
Like
have
I said,
kept
if you're
my
not
butt
happy with me,
in
you
your.
can take my name. It's right there, Sergeant Craven. You can come back tomorrow morning and complain to my chief of police.
We did just that.
So if you're not happy with me, then you can come back tomorrow morning and talk to my chief of police.
Assistant Chief Michael Visser viewed the tape. Huntington Park wasn't alone in policy violations. The Culver City Police Department watch commander also refused to give out a form without any information.
We need to know who you are, where you live, phone number, that kind of stuff. Every time I give out a form, I have to register that with the chief's office as to who I gave it to and the nature of the complaint.
That violates the Culver City Police policy. A police lieutenant told me anyone can come in and get a complaint form, and complaints can be filed anonymously, even if the forms are registered with the chief's office.
It would certainly appear to be a stonewalling effect.
If you don't know where it occurred, how can we even investigate this?
Larry Paul is a 40-year law enforcement veteran. He reviewed the undercover videotapes and says the Culver City Watch Commander and others who refuse to give out forms may not be ignorant of policy, but trying to protect their own.
It would appear to me that he was certainly attempting to discourage any complaints being registered through his department.
The Huntington Park Assistant Chief refused to tell me if Sergeant Craven faced any disciplinary action because he violated department policy. Culver City Police were invited to respond to our report, but they refused. It's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night. Our tester, Doug Jones, is walking into one of the most notorious police stations in the LAPD, the Rampart Division. His purpose, to ask about filing a complaint.
Hey, look, if I want to file a complaint against one of your officers, what do I do?
Your Honor, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address this court.
Rampart Division is, of course, where Rafael Perez admitted shooting innocent victims like Javier Ovando. And this is where we began our test of the LAPD complaint process. In Victorville, our tester was refused a form, violating department policy.
As soon as you can explain to me what's going on, I'd be more than happy to help you out.
In San Bernardino, Sheriff's Corporal Ray Austin's conduct was found to be intimidating by his own captain.
If your allegation is unfounded, the officer has the right to sue you.
At Lakewood,
I did find something that you can actually mail in.
And at Palmdale,
You just seal it and you send it to here.
Jones was able to take a complaint form home so he could fill it out anonymously. But at 2 other stations we tested, he was told there was no such form. We also tested the Long Beach Police Department. We were told that forms were only filled out by supervisors, and Jones had to put his name on any complaint.
Oh, I can't, like, just send one in, like, anonymously, or just, you know...
Has to be in person. You can't file a complaint anonymously.
But the Long Beach Police Department policy clearly states you can file anonymous complaints. In all, we tested 31 police locations. 19 followed policy. They provided complaint forms or complied with proper procedures. 12 did not follow policy. They either had no forms or no supervisors on duty who could give us one, or they violated one or more procedures.
I want to file a complaint against one of your deputies. What do I do?
Jones, who works for the Police Complaint Center, a national police watchdog group, says the percentages are about average. They've done the tests in many major cities and say the findings usually work to improve police policies.
We do tests, and that's what we're conducting, is tests, not to catch them with their pants down. I mean, there are agencies that are done very well.
Do you guys have like a complaint form? Is there, you just come in here however you want, one kind of paper or pen? I mean, obviously any pen, but you guys don't have a form? Well, it doesn't have to be on a form. Well, I mean, do you guys have a form? Some people write us letters. But do you guys have a form? I feel like we're beating around the bush right now.
Oh, shit.
Let's stop beating around the bush. Do you guys, do we
Sticky
have a
note
form?
will get thrown in the
I'm sure you guys have a pen and paper.
The sticky note will get thrown in the trash.
Yeah. Hey, you must have a weapon on you.
Hey, you three need to step outside.
Why?
Because I told you to.
On September 5th, 2014, I attended the Police Accountability March that marked the one-year anniversary of the shooting death of veteran Dennis Reynoso. While filming the march, I noticed an undercover Lynn police vehicle shadowing the peaceful crowd. I approached the vehicle and requested the officer's name and badge number. The Lynn police vehicle struck me hard enough that its mirror folded back, and the driver immediately stopped and got on his radio after he hit me. The officer did not check to see if I was injured, and did not offer any sort of aid, nor did he ever identify himself. On September 8th, I entered the Lynn Police Department to report the incident. Lieutenant Shorten took an initial report.
So, I'm here because on Friday I had a police officer from the Lynn Police drive a vehicle into me.
I don't have any record of it.
There's no record whatsoever? I watched him call it in, so that's interesting.
I don't see anything.
I then found the vehicle in the station's back lot.
So, it looks like, oh look! They repaired it. Alright, so they didn't, okay! So look, they did not, alright, so you can see it is detached from when it hit me. And they had to repair it with that screw that definitely was not there.
As I documented the vehicle, a Lynn police cruiser pulled up.
Howdy! This is the car that hit me.
That car hit you?
Yeah!
Hey guys, this is private property, you gotta get out of the lawn.
This is public property. Your police station. Can I have your name and badge number, please?
I will not go in the station and ask them.
For your name and badge.
Well,
Can I see your ID card, please?
I don't have an ID card on.
Really? That's illegal. Under Massachusetts general law, it absolutely is. I'm making a lawful request under Massachusetts law for your ID card.
Gotta get off of private property.
I left the lot and approached the main desk.
Howdy. Sorry to bother again. Oh, hey!
Your IDs? You got the plan, right? Both your IDs. Pardon me? I need both your IDs.
What's the lawful reason for the request?
Because you're on private property. I'm leaving, right?
Why? I'm sorry.
You're leaving?
No, I haven't made my report yet.
You made your report.
Well, actually, first of all, I'd like to make a complaint about this gentleman here. Second of all,
What's the complaint?
your refusal to identify yourself is against the law.
Okay.
Literally.
I'm sure if you ever have an appointment with the chief and you talk with him, you'll get my information.
Well, I'm sure I will. But in the meantime, I'd like to make a complaint. Are you saying that I can't do that?
Not with us.
Not with you. Who do I make a complaint with?
The chief's the best guy.
The chief's the best guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So make an appointment.
Okay. I'll do it.
This may be done. No, you don't.
Howdy.
I don't know. I don't know if they're waiting for Dave or not, so. Waiting for who? Trying to make, they were talking to Dave and now they're waiting here, so I don't know what's up with that. What is it that you're looking for?
Well, I found the car that hit me on Friday. I was reporting it earlier. It's out back.
Okay, and what are you doing going in private property videotaping police cars?
What? Okay.
You're subject to arrest for going back into private property.
Am I being arrested?
Police cars. Huh?
Am I being arrested?
I said you are subject to arrest
Okay.
for going out there. Now, what is it that you need?
Well, I'm still trying to report that a police car drove into me, and I found it. It's literally out back.
The officer in charge has your complaint.
So are you trying to stop them from... He literally does not have all the information he needs.
He has the information that he needs and documented to send it on for additional investigation if needed.
Oh, okay.
He has documented
Can I
the
have the
complaint.
photograph?
It's being forwarded to the people that need the complaint, which means that you have no other business that you need to be doing here right now.
I would also like to make a complaint about this officer. May I please talk to the lieutenant?
No.
No? You're going to block the complaint about this officer, and you're not going to let me
What's the
explain
complaint you want to make about that officer?
refusal to ID under Massachusetts law.
He gave you his badge number.
He,
I gave you my badge.
He flat out refused. He did not show a ID card. It was only when he came back out here to harass me further after telling me to come in here.
I'm not asking, I'm just talking to you.
Okay, I've asked you several times, now I'm telling you, leave the police station.
Now, I like the gumption of this lady in the last clip here. I really adore the cut of her jib. Now, not only did she go to the lengths that she should have, that anyone should have, she was still denied any service, any paperwork. Denied. Now, when a cop tells you, we've taken the report, you can go. You don't have a cause number. You don't have a report number. You don't have the investigator's name. There is no report. They didn't take it. Okay? Because if you don't believe me, go through an incident like this. Go through any incident that involves a police officer. You call back however much time later, and there's going to be somebody on the phone telling you they don't know what case you're talking about. There's nothing filed. There's nothing there. So, sorry. Have a good day. I'm going to hang up on you. You have to have all this information.
I have a criminal complaint against Robert Durgan. He has violated the law, he violated my rights, and I would like to file a criminal complaint and have it be investigated. I'm a victim of a crime. So I would like the NPD to investigate who.
No, sir, we're not doing the investigation. So you want to make a complaint against me, you go to the state attorney.
I didn't say I want to make it. I will make a complaint against you to the state attorney.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
Well, I'm not going to leave.
I'm going to ask you to leave. If you don't,
I'm asking to file a criminal.
Sir, we're not filing anything. Okay?
I look forward.
You're under arrest.
Did you provide Mr. Jernigan with any? Excuse me. I got to say.
So, what have we gotten from all this? Again, you are needing to make a report. It's going to be risky because the majority of the police departments in the United States of America is filled with these dirtbags, these corporate revenue drawing scumbags. I hate to say it, but it's true. I'm not sitting here just trying to do a hate speech. This is the literal situation here. I mean, some of these videos are old, some of these videos are newer, which shows you there's been a problem for a very long time, and it's still going on. These problems are not being addressed. I would just really suggest that anyone who has a legitimate situation, especially being assaulted by a police officer, vehicular assault, go do your thing, record everything, just like that lady did. And when these people tell you to leave, just leave. Because if you don't leave, yes, they'll arrest you illegally. More often than not, they'll take your phone, they'll break it, or erase whatever video you've taken. Even though that's very illegal. Needs a warrant for them to even touch your phone while it's on. And just leave. Just leave. Tell them you'll be back with a lawyer. You don't have to stand your ground at that point. Just leave. People, you have the opportunity to come back stronger. Every confrontation, learn from every confrontation. Come back stronger. Don't let these scumbags put you in handcuffs. Don't escalate. Exercise your rights because you should know them. Exercise them, and when your rights are obviously not going to be acknowledged, take them to court. So, with that said, I'm really enjoying the breakdowns. I love my guests and all, but once again, these things are fun. I hope you enjoy it. And if you go through one of these situations and you can't record, if there is by some way that you feel as though you should just so much better off not recording, hey, show them this episode. You got internet on your phone. Let them know that you're willing to complain to me. Come on my show, because I'll have you. And we can point out the officers, where they work. Let's put a watch on them. What do you say? All right. Well, anyways, that's it for the show. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.